Hello, you're watching GameSpot Daily, where we cover the top stories in 30 minutes or less, and some of them are not about Fortnite. I'm Callie, and I'm joined by Michael Hyam.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fortnite Spot. Nope. Definitely not what we're called.
No, we're called GameSpot Daily. We've gone over this. That's
Yeah,
okay. You'll get it one day.
Yeah, but oh man, we talk about Fortnite every now and then, but today is actually quite a big deal.
Yeah, we do bring up a lot of Fortnite news because that's what the people want. However, this one is like the big game.
The biggest time. I think so far is since we've started the show.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not just Fortnite on the docket for today.
We got Rainbow Six Siege, obviously Stardew Valley.
Ooh, you're gonna have to carry that one. I'll carry Siege. You carry Stardew Valley.
That's a good trade. Let's do that.
But together we tackle Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're about to do.
Yes. Let's get into it.
Okay. Fortnite Season 4 is kicking off because the meteor has finally hit Dusty Depot.
Ooh.
So we're gonna walk through what that means.
What does that mean? So,
all right.
Meteor took out one of the three warehouses in Dusty Depot, and completely changed the terrain. Dusty Depot was not that poppin' to begin with. Like I didn't really give a shit about that.
I knew about Tilted. People like Tilted.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
People were suspecting Tilted Towers was going to get obliterated.
I remember there were a lot of theories, but now it's actually happened. There's a huge crater in place of that warehouse, and as a result, it's now called Dusty Divot.
Dusty Divot,
not Dusty Depot.
That's a hell of a name.
Which we have now decided that's what we're calling Nick Margarita until the end of time.
What's up, Dusty Divot?
Dusty Divot, that's your name. A piece of the meteor is still in the ground. And the military has seemingly built a base there around the rock.
The military.
The military.
The Fortnite military.
To examine it and keep people out of that region. That's the lore there for you.
What are you going to do? You just build a ramp, get over that shit. So
yeah, this is Fortnite. You can build whatever.
Yeah, this is
part of the thing.
It's pretty cool though. Like, I think one of my favorite things about Fortnite is the verticality and what you can do with structures. But this is like inverse verticality because it's a crater and you jump into it and it's
still vertical, just a different axis. Well, it's the same axis, just below the ground.
Over.
Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. There's a small chunks of the meteors called hop rocks. Pop rocks, get it like pop rocks, lying around the area, and if you pick one up and crush it with your hand, you can temporarily defy gravity. Ooh, some game-changing stuff here, along with the changes in the map.
Everyone knows that's how meteors work. If you touch it, then gravity doesn't affect you anymore.
That's how Superman came to be, right?
Right, because you gain the meteor's gravitational pull. Yeah, that's just science.
And this allows you to jump much higher than usual. So, ooh, man, you can see some people like jumping around,
floaty jump.
They got hops.
I used to play Halo 2 that way. I would put on low grav just for funsies. I like those floaty jumps. All right, Season 4 has also added the new Risky Reels area, which is a drive-in theater.
Oh.
When I first read the phrase Risky Reels, I admit I thought it was going to be about fishing.
Oh.
It's like movie reels.
I thought it was like risque reels. Like.
Oh. No. Well,
that's a no-no in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Children be playing
Children
this.
are playing this, yeah. And so that's seen in the Season 4 trailer that we just played. The update also brought new elements to existing areas, so Anarchy Acres and then also the pieces of meteor scattered across the map.
They give you hops.
Yeah, they give you those cool hops. A lot of people, like we said, thought it was going to hit Tilted Towers, which did not happen.
Nope.
And Epic even added signs in the Tilted Towers
area. They did a little.
Be like,
yeah,
we see
you. They kind of trolled us, which is kind of cool. But along with Season 4, not just the changes in the map design, but there's also some new, of course, as we expect, there's going to be a lot of new rewards, new emotes, cosmetics, over 100 tiers of items and more. It's a lot of stuff coming there, and they all require you, almost all of them require you to get that battle pass. So hand over some money. This is a free-to-play game, so it's a fair trade-off, I would say.
Yeah.
And you can also destroy. You can also destroy structures in the starting island now instead of like whacking things and, because the starting,
Right.
They didn't let you do shit in there. Whoa, I've never been so excited about Fortnite in my life.
That was the most energy, feeling that energy coming off of you.
I could finally destroy structures in the starting zone. Yes.
Yes.
Fucking A.
Awesome. Well, now I'm gonna play because that's the one thing I needed.
That's how it be.
They've also tweaked how headshots work. So bullets will no longer be blocked by other parts of the character's body. So if a bullet goes through your hand before it reaches your head, it'll still count as a headshot.
Yeah.
It doesn't negate the fact that you did hit them in the head, which is, that's the kind of thing that would piss me off, the little semantics of that. I'd be like,
right.
It's no longer a headshot because it went through your hand first, you asshole. So
bullets can go through your hand, I guess. Depends on if you got a Full Metal Jacket
Yeah.
bullet or or a hollow point, but Fortnite ain't going there.
We're not
We're not going to talk about bullet science over here.
We already talked about space science, so that's the
we
limit
got
for
that.
today.
We got that.
Yeah, we
don't try and correct us because I think we're right about.
I think we're 100%
about
right.
the hop rocks.
The headshots thing applies to all weapons except for rocket launcher and grenade.
Oh, of course.
Which
rockets tend to go through hands.
Listen,
and hit you in the head.
Yeah, you got a full body shot with a rocket launcher. That's just how that works.
That's how it be.
The crossbow has been taken out of rotation and put into the vault.
Okay.
So I remember Nick was in here trying to get crossbow kills.
That was one of the daily one of the challenges.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was daily or
I
weekly.
think it was a weekly because he was doing it for several days.
Oh yeah. He was just like yelling and screaming.
He was just like swearing, and we were like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I
he-
can't get a crossbow kill."
as he usually does.
And now, that's part of the reason we're calling him Dusty Divot.
Yeah.
Because it's
Dusty ass. Nah, he's
No, we love him.
he's not dusty.
We love him.
He's got a sweet haircut. But
Yeah.
Save the World is also getting a few changes as well. So it's not just about Battle Royale today. So Save the World has kicked off a new event called the Blockbuster event.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, all those stores have been gutted and they are no longer in business, but they are in Fortnite, the Blockbuster event. The event has you join Spitfire and Locke.
Lock?
Loke?
Not
Loke
sure.
has a different meaning in where I'm from. But as they investigate the comet and gear you up to recruit a team of superheroes. So superhero theme is also coming to Save the World.
Get it? Because blockbuster movies.
Oh, shit.
The Avengers?
Yeah, they're really leaning into the Infinity War hype.
Are you okay?
No, never. But you can check out, get this back on the rails. You can check out all of the patch notes, everything that's coming to Fortnite that's new with Season 4 on GameSpot.com. Get the full breakdown because that's just how we do.
Yeah. We have a talented team of news writers who get that stuff for you.
Man, that was a lot.
That was a lot. But we got more news about updates. And this one's
close to your heart.
I'm so excited. Stardew Valley multiplayer beta is now available on PC. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. If you're I was going to try to say like Stardew head, but that's not there's no phrase for that. If you love to farm, version 1.3 brings multiplayer to Stardew Valley just on PC, not on other platforms yet. It's in public beta. If you have an existing save file, it works. But a game saved in version 1.3 can't be loaded in earlier versions. Yeah. So you should probably
be careful with your save data there.
Yeah, back that up. Yeah. There are easy instructions on Steam, by the way, if you're having trouble backing up that data. But I know my farm is really important to me, and I wouldn't want to lose it. So. And
you can host your farm with up to 3 friends, I believe.
That's the big thing. It's almost like the way Animal Crossing used to work. Well, it still does, but like on GameCube, you could you had 4 houses and you could have 4 people sharing one town on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Now, those houses don't get built until someone joins the town. And this is kind of a similar thing. You build a cabin. They're pretty cheap, thankfully, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get friends on your farm. But you build the cabins for them to live in, and then people can move in and help you out on your farm. And and then you can marry them if you.
Oh, sweet! Yeah, you can marry your friends. Mm-hmm. I'm down with that.
Yeah. So here's what's shared between players if you choose to do that: the farm, the money, and world updates like the community center. So you're all contributing to the community center.
Oh man, it sounds like a.
I already finished the community center. So.
Wow, it sounds like. Oh, hi, Mary. Oh, look, Mary's a character in Stardew Valley.
I didn't realize Mary was in this video. I know she. This is
cameo by our very good friend Mary Kish. Our very own
Mary Kish.
Apparently, we pulled up her Stardew Valley video here for B-roll.
I seriously didn't know her face was in the video. I thought it was just gameplay. Oh. Well, there you have it. We love Mary.
Wow, Stardew Valley really sounds like a socialist dream.
You
share the farm, you share money, and world updates to the community center. Yo, take me to the do. What we do the do.
No, that's actually kind of the point of Stardew Valley also, because you leave your corporate job to work on farm.
Say that shit.
What's separate between you? So if you share the farm, the money, world updates, what is separate is your inventory. So your offline friends' inventories can be found in their cabin's drawers, but they are separate, so it's not just automatically in your inventory. Skills that you unlock, obviously, because that would be weird if you all suddenly became really good at mining, but none of you mind. And then NPC relationships. So you are not automatically friends with your friends' friends.
You have to make the step. Mm-hmm. You have to put in the effort to make friends.
Yes, you do.
You can't just be like, oh, you know my homies, so we're already homies. Like, no.
Nah.
We need to. You need to say what's up. Don't be so shy. Don't be shy now.
That's what Stardew Valley is about. You got to make friends. You can choose whether any friend can join you or if it's invite only for your farm, which is important. There's other details. Like I said, you can marry another player. That's really cool. And actually, Mary and I already agreed to marry each other. So
okay, that's poetic.
We're taken by. Only the host can pause the game. And to sleep, all of you must head to bed and select yes.
This
separate beds.
Oh wait, married or just like players in general?
Just generally.
Oh, okay.
In order, if you have 3 other friends with you, if you need to go to bed, everybody needs to be in bed.
Okay, we're taking this socialist dream a little too far.
Where everyone has to share the same bedtime.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's 10 p.m.
Game, so to be fair, that's how the game saves. That's the only way.
Right.
That's how you save the game. But yeah, I think it's really cool that rather than just like in Animal Crossing, you can only play one person at a time. Hi, Mary again. You can play simultaneously and do stuff together. And then all of you have to be at a festival before it starts. This is so weird seeing Mary. This is really weird to me. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh man.
It's weird because I see her all the time in real life, so it's just like this weird cameo.
What are you doing on our show?
I know. Anyway, yeah, you have to all be at a festival before it starts. So normal things that the game would use to load events or save, those things you all have to do together while you're playing. But like I said, it's really cool that you can play simultaneously. Also, so we're not going to spoil anything because I don't want to get spoiled. Oh my God, it's my boyfriend.
Oh, is he best boy?
Oh yeah, you can't see him because we're covering him with the pip, but that's Sebastian and I love him.
Oh, oh man.
Anyway, there's more details on Reddit. So if you don't care about spoilers, then you can go ahead on Reddit. The Reddit Stardew Valley community is really good about tagging spoilers, so you can see as much or as little as you want to see. But there's just more details, the single player stuff in this update that I think will be fun to discover if you. This is just the Mary.
All right. Goodbye, Mary.
Bye, Mary. Love you. Jesus. Anyway, there's also hats for horses in this update.
Oh, that's cute.
A lot of stuff going on that we won't get into, but
all right.
Yeah.
And just a quick note, if you want to get into this beta, there are a couple steps that you have to do on Steam. To enable the beta, you have to right-click your Stardew Valley launcher in your Steam library and click Go to Properties, select Betas, select the Betas tab, type in the password, Jumping Junimos?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Junimos are the little green, they're multicolored, but the little dudes in the community center.
Okay,
like,
so
hey.
you have the password is Jumping Junimos.
They're
Spread the
so
word.
Cute.
Then click check code, and then the beta should be available from the drop-down menu. Mm-hmm. And that's how you can get into the multiplayer beta. Sounds dope.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, and then you have to remove any mods that haven't been updated for this version. So be really careful. My favorite mod is the Cuter Pigs mod, because those pigs in Stardew Valley, if you don't know, they are hideous.
Oh.
And the Cuter Pigs mod just fixes it.
Sounds good to me.
Unfortunately, if it's not updated, I don't know if it's updated because I've been playing on Switch lately.
Damn.
But yeah, you gotta uninstall those mods.
Cool. That was a lot.
I love Stardew Valley, and I think if you haven't played it, you should absolutely play it.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
With or without your friends. Your friends can make it better, but it's still a fantastic game on its own.
Yeah, Dan Auer, one of our engineers, he got Stardew Valley on Switch. I think he put a lot of time into the PC version, and then he got on Switch and put in like another 100 hours into it.
Yep.
And he was like,
That's me.
No regrets.
I have 160 hours logged on Steam, and then I have like another 100 on Switch.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, and I'm super not done with that game. I've never gotten married. I don't have a child. I've never had a child in that game. Now
you can play multiplayer. And
I'm taking my sweet
get
time.
That done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get married to a person I know in real life. All right.
Cool. Well, so we had Fortnite. A lot of stuff going on with Fortnite. A lot of stuff going on with Stardew Valley. So I can kind of take a little bit of the pressure off you with this one, because we're talking about Rainbow Six Siege. A lot of the changes that we were talking about in previous stories are now live on Rainbow Six Siege. The patch is now available, and it nerfs 2 of the most frustrating characters, as Matt Padgett puts it. And that
which is
Lion and Blitz. They have been nerfed. Particularly Lion is probably the more notable change, because of how important he is in the competitive structure. So if you haven't kept up with the changes to Lion, here they are in update 1.2.
All right.
Okay, so the Lion scanning ability, which draws a red outline on every moving enemy, players will now be able to stop moving to remove their outline. So as soon as you, so as soon as you, once Lion puts up the scanning ability, if you stop moving, you can't be seen. No wall hacks.
T-Rex rules, actually.
T-Rex rules.
Because if you don't move, they can't see you.
I don't get
Jurassic Park, man.
Damn it. Oh, okay.
I'm sure all the people watching at home got it.
Now, yeah, cool. Also, the scanning ability can only be used twice per round instead of 3 times.
Awesome.
Ooh, and the cooldown has increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So significant changes to Lion. I'm curious as to see how this will play out in the meta. But just know that this is now live. So all you Lion players out there, be more thoughtful with how you use your stuff. Okay, so Blitz is the other annoying character according to Matt Paget. Blitz's shield flash.
His words, not ours.
Yeah.
I think we're on board.
I don't get that frustrated in games.
Matt Paget speaks for us all.
Okay, sure. We'll roll with that. So, we state that Blitz is annoying, but Blitz's shield flash, basically a flashbang attached to his shield, can only be used 4 times per round instead of 5 times per round. And the range is also reduced from 8 meters to 5 meters. Yep. Significant changes there. Jaeger's ADS gadget no longer destroys Hibana's X-Kairos pellets and destroy. The gadget is supposed to destroy grenades that come within its range. So nerfing that ability there. Vigil's electronic rendering cloak, which makes him invisible to cameras for as long as he doesn't perform any actions. Its duration lasts 12 seconds, but it's down to the duration lasts for 12 seconds, down from 30 seconds. However,
so it used to be 30, and they went it down all the way to 12 seconds. That's a lot.
Yeah. However, its cooldown has been brought from 6 seconds to 12 seconds. So
okay, so the cooldown is shorter, but the duration is also shorter.
Yes.
Okay.
And more operators. Whoa, boy, this is a lot.
Whew.
Hibana has also changed. Her Claymore has been replaced with a breaching charge. And Ying, her smoke grenades Ying's, I actually haven't played Ying, so I don't know if it's a mana or a loon.
I don't know.
I haven't played enough Siege. I played a lot of Siege, but I haven't played enough Siege.
To master all the operators?
Yeah, there's a lot of operators. And I usually stick with Dokebi. She's wonderful.
Aww.
I strictly almost play her.
Nice.
But
anyway, Ying's
smoke grenades have been replaced with a Claymore.
Okay, so really quickly before we go any further, those two are pretty vague. The Claymore being replaced with a breaching charge and the smoke grenades being replaced with Claymores. Do you think that's going to significantly impact things?
Yes, I think so. Claymores can be annoying if you're not.
Claymores are very different from smoke grenades, obviously, but
they serve very different functions, obviously. But Claymores can be annoying if you're not paying attention enough. Right. And I tend to not pay attention to what I'm doing, so they tend to get me. I get God. Whoa! May God bless your soul. Again.
Excuse me.
All right. And lastly, LMGs have different damage models. You can check out all the details as to how the LMGs are being changed on Ubisoft's blog. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of data-driven stuff when it comes to changes for Rainbow Six Siege. They go all in on showing you what they're doing and what they're changing in the game. But just know that Zophia's LMG, Ying's T95, Capital's M249, and Fuse and Finka's 6P41 have all changed. And so check out the patch notes on Ubisoft to get the details on that. A number of fixes to the gameplay, level design, and operator and user experience bugs have been worked out. And you can see the full patch notes in our article as well.
Yeah, GameSpot is the spot for patch notes.
Oh, man.
That's our new slogan.
I'm out of breath.
We have gone through so many patch notes on this show so far. And
we still need energy for this next story.
We got to get through this next story because
exhausted.
This one's pretty important, and I don't want to not go too deep into it. But that's the end of the patch notes section of the show.
Yeah. Speaking of being exhausted. Oh boy.
Simpsons creator Matt Groening has responded to the controversy surrounding Apu finally. He was silent for quite some time. So really quick to catch you up, you don't know what's been happening. A Hari Kondabolu. Somebody said that I pronounced that relatively okay last time, so I'm just gonna keep going with that. Did a documentary called The Problem with Apu, and it was about how the representation of that character, it was the only representation that people of Indian descent had in that show. And obviously The Simpsons is a hugely popular, well-known, long-running TV series, and so it was a big, important thing for a lot of people. The show responded to that. You've probably seen that clip. We've talked about it on the show. We won't run through that again. But Groening spoke to USA Today in an interview which was largely focused on The Simpsons' recent record for the most number of episodes for a primetime scripted TV series. So it was just a general, like, The Simpsons hit a record. Also, let's talk about that thing that you guys did.
Yeah.
So this is what he said. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up some Apu B-roll because...
That hot Apu B-roll real quick.
Groening says, I guess I should... The question was if he had any thoughts. He says, not really. I'm proud of what we do on the show, and I think it's a time in our culture where people love to pretend they're offended.
Yikes. That gets a 10 out of 10 yikes from me.
That gets a heavy yikes.
10 yikes out of 10.
Yeah.
From
That's like
me.
yikes and then yikes going down also.
I like to do that when something is, oh boy, I don't even know what to say to that. It's like, Matt Groening is the creator of Simpsons, and for me, like, my perception of The Simpsons was always like the rebellious type of show that like was willing to like stick it to the man. Yeah. And then this is very much like the opposite of that.
Nah, you became the man. Like, so a couple things that we'll run through before we really get into the meat. USA Today also asked about the episode that responded to that Apu criticism, not just the documentary itself. Specifically when Marge said some things will be addressed at a later date, and Lisa replied, if at all. Groening said, we'll let the show speak for itself.
That's such a cop-out. And it's worth mentioning that Hank Azaria, we talked about this before. Hank Azaria himself has went on the Colbert Show, hot CBS property right there. Went on the Colbert Show to say that his views have changed over time and that he's willing to like let go of the role. Hank Azaria does a ton of voices for The Simpsons, but he said specifically that he's willing to let go of his role as Apu because he thinks that it might be served better if it's represented properly. Right.
He was super open about like, hey, you know, I've really thought about this. I've taken that criticism to heart, and he literally said he'd be willing to step aside. And we talked about this a couple episodes ago, I think last week.
Yes.
USA Today also asked, you began as rebels. Is it an adjustment to become the establishment? Groening said, would you like to read this one?
Yeah, sure. So Groening said in response, when we first started, we were part of the downfall of civilization. Bart said he was an underachiever and proud of it, man. Simpsons t-shirts were banned in grade schools. I felt that the controversy at the beginning of the show was, again, people pretending to be offended by Bart's very mild sassiness. I knew that it would blow over. At the heart of our show is a church-going family who eats dinner together every night and is very traditional. They drive each other crazy, but they do love each other.
That is Homer literally chokes Bart in so many of those early episodes. What are you talking about?
Oh, man.
Church-going family that's very traditional.
There's a lot of things going on here.
Matt Groening, I'm so disappointed in you. So this is what Kondabolu said on Twitter, and I actually retweeted this because I think it makes an important distinction, and I would like to talk about this more. He says, well, that seals it. Matt Groening finally responded and sounds like every other troll on the internet who didn't see the documentary. No one is offended by this character. It was at times insulting and was frustrating to many of us who were solely represented by that one image.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's very important to me, is that, you know, everyone wants to come out and cry and be like, oh, why are you so offended? Why are you so offended? It's like, no. The character himself isn't necessarily like the offensive part. It's that, you know, it's like you said, insulting and frustrating. And I think that for me, it's that when you portray a character, like Apu has like had several instances of like decent portrayal and then some not so decent portrayals of him and Indian culture. But what it does is that it normalizes making fun of, you know, who you are, what you were born with, your ethnicity. And so that gives a lot of people who watch The Simpsons like a pass and poking fun at someone in real life for their, you know, and using racial stereotypes to offend someone. And it's like, that's not cool, man. Like you're enabling that behavior.
Yeah, so a couple things. I think the distinction between being offended and just acknowledging the problems with a character is one thing that's really that I'm really big on. Is like you can acknowledge a problem without being offended. It's not like you're automatically like, oh, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm so offended and personally hurt. It's more like I can see that this is a problem.
Like, that's just not cool, man.
Yeah, like
there's a difference there.
I think people are very quick to assume people are just really upset when really people are just being critical of something that is out there in the public and you're allowed to be critical of.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I've seen some people talk about how The Simpsons makes fun of everybody and like, well, Homer's stupid and people that's a joke in the show. It's like the thing is. With Homer, a lot of the times you were laughing at his handling of situations, his actions, how he like the choices, like the things he says and the words he chooses to use. Whereas with Apu, I think sometimes the joke was just that he had a funny accent.
Yeah.
And I think those two things are different. And I think it's not too difficult to see that they're two different kinds of jokes.
Yeah. Spend some time and think about it.
Yeah, I just I've always been such a big Matt Groening fan. I love his work. I was always such a big Simpsons fan, Futurama fan.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're such a square, dude. Like
it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing
Don't be
and
such
surprised,
a fucking
actually.
Loser.
Yeah. I was gonna say disappointed but not surprised, but I am surprised actually.
I'm a little surprised.
Oh,
but
boy.
good on you, Hank Azaria.
Yeah. So boy, that was something. Ooh, you ready to kick it back to games? We got one more game story, which we'll go through real quick.
Really quick game story.
Oh boy!
Let's just
let's do a little skirt.
Take a deep breath.
This actually is something that I'm very interested in. It is No More Heroes. Travis Strikes Again. So if you have been following, Suda51, who is a well-known developer, has Travis Strikes Again is coming soon to the Nintendo Switch. And he said that the success of Travis Strikes Again may mean a No More Heroes 3. So a couple things here is that Alessandro Falari of GameSpot, our good friend, interviewed Suda51 about Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. And he said he wanted to break away from what was set in stone from the first two games. First two games were more of like an open world kind of deal. And some of the fight sequences actually played a lot like how Yakuza does. But with this new game, Travis Strikes Again, on Switch, it's more of arcadey gameplay, and he compares it to like Smash TV and Gauntlet in many ways. And from the trailers, like I hadn't known exactly how this game was structured just by judging from the trailers, but now I understand.
Yeah.
Like this is more action driven, more like short form sequences, I guess. However, he also talked about the future of the series as a whole, and speaking to fans, he said this in particular, said, "I just want to say thank you for loving Travis. I'm so happy that I could revive the series on Nintendo's console, and that could be part of Nintendo Switch library. I just want to get it out and let as many people play it as possible. I'm just happy that I can prove now that Travis is really back. And if this is successful, I'm planning to go straight ahead and make No More Heroes 3 as well." So that's cool.
Suda also talked about some stuff that feels, quote, really symbolic of the No More Heroes series. Saving on the toilet was one of those things.
Yeah,
charging the beam katana and using buttons to attack and then swinging the controller at the end to finish enemies off.
Yeah.
We have the full interview on GameSpot. Definitely check it out. Alessandro has been really putting out a lot of cool interviews lately. So
yeah, I'm usually here late at night, and Alessandro's been putting in a lot of work. So he's put out a lot of like features, previews, interviews. He's been really pumping out a lot of good stuff. So check this out: the interview with Suda51, and he's also covered many new games like a tactical RPG that's kind of like Cold War XCOM almost. And he has another interview with State of Decay devs. So a lot of interviews. Man, this is Alessandro's spot over here.
I had an interview with David Cage, if you're interested in that still.
Ooh, you should
for
be.
Detroit Become Human, which is coming out very soon. So.
Yeah. So we got a lot of, that's to say that we have a lot of good stuff on GameSpot.com. So if you like what we do, which you should, head on over to the site and check out what we're doing.
Yeah. I would hope if you're here that you are somewhat enjoy it. Anyway, we got to wrap up. So we got some people to thank. Matt Padgett really helmed the whole thing today. Got our notes together with Tony out, having moved Good on you, Tony. But he'll be back. Chris Pereira, obviously Gadge for putting that thumbnail together.
Gadge came in clutch today.
Yeah, he did. And who else?
We want to thank you. Thank you for sticking around, hanging out with us. Again, we have fun doing this, and we hope you have fun watching us. So have a good day. We'll try to have a good day.
We'll do our best.
And we will see you tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Goodbye.